ready for another lesson?
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Back Row Banter, your favorite casual movie talk podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Adam Schwartz, and on this week's episode, we'll be talking about the movie Watchmen. But of course, before we get to any of that, I'm joined today by Nuclear Nathaniel Gingrich.
I swear I've been Nuclear Nathaniel before, for
Sure. It's a repeat. It's
Okay.
a repeat.
Had to have been.
It is.
What,
So,
Oppenheimer?
Oppenheimer
Gotta
for
be.
sure. Yeah.
Yep, at least Oppenheimer. It's definitely come back around, but just
Yeah.
when
I'm
it's right there, you know, when it's right in front of me, I just got to pick it up and run with it. You know, the good old scoop and score. How you doing, Nathaniel?
Yeah, I'm chilling, man. How are you guys?
Doing all right. How are things
brother.
starting to pick up at the store with the
Oh
holidays coming up?
yeah. It's that time. So you know,
Not envious of you, sir.
is what it is. We survive. We trudge on. Everyone better come and buy their books. Support your local business so I don't have to get snowed under a bunch of books.
There it is.
It's it's definitely time. We're getting prepped. We're flowing. It is what it is.
Nice.
You guys know how it goes. You
Australis.
kind of just hunker down. Sorry.
Yeah.
Continue on with
sure,
the
you're good.
segment. Introduce our next person, please.
It's just all good. It's the birthday boy, Mr. Tyler Verdalis.
Hey, what's going on?
Slightly. How far off were you? Or not? Well, they're not that far off. It was only a couple days.
It was
I
Saturday.
think initially, yeah, okay. I was gonna say initially we had your birthday pick last week and had to change the schedule around a little bit. But happy birthday, man.
Thank you.
It's your birthday.
Hey, man, yeah. What is this for you? Is this 34? 5?
34.
35.
35. So you're 90, baby. Okay.
I was gonna say, yeah, whatever the year that we're currently in ends in, that's what my last
Yep.
number is.
You and Adam.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yeah. He is a 2000 baby. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't even have to do that, other thing he added. What year is it? All right, just take the last two digits. Most of the
Nice.
time. I mean, my
I was gonna
birthday's in
say.
July, so it's like half the year it changes, but it's really not that hard to keep track.
Nice.
Very true.
Well, cool, man. How was the festivities, man? Were you up in was it New York?
Yeah, man. It was great. I don't know if New York is ever gonna be like my first choice to be like, dude, we gotta go just to hang out, like vacation. But we did. We saw the Statue of Liberty. We did the 9/11 Memorial Museum, which was just
Sure, very powerful.
one of the most emotional things for me to walk through, especially with my past being a firefighter and just having ties of my family being firemen and being somewhat of a functioning human being to be able to remember things at that time. So yeah, just a emotional, powerful, beautiful tribute to all those souls. So yeah. And then we did The Great Gatsby on Broadway, which was phenomenal.
That sounds awesome.
In every way, shape, and form. Singing was great. The actors and actresses are great. The music was phenomenal. The set was something that absolutely took my breath away. And then it was just a beautiful theater that it was in. And then we also did like a really nice dinner one night. We did the whole Times Square thing. Got like a bunch of pictures of everything. And then Thursday, we took a train from Manhattan to Albany. So went a little bit further upstate.
Yep.
Rented a car and then drove to our Airbnb where we were staying with my mom and my stepdad as well. So it was all 6 of us in a house. And we just kind of hung out up there. Saturday, we did the whole wedding thing. beautiful church, great service that my cousin and her now husband had, and party was a good time. And that was the day of my birthday, so it was pretty funny. Family members just kind of realizing like they would see me like at the bar dancing, like, oh shit, today's your birthday, like happy birthday. I'm like, yeah, it's cool.
You get to judge them then
so-
for stealing your birthday a little bit. I mean,
we
you
had
always
the
get to-
conversation
yeah.
beforehand.
You always get
Yeah,
to-
of course. Yeah.
Yeah, my aunt was very much of she's probably one of my favorite people. But she was like, are you okay? And I was like, you don't have to ask if this is okay. Like, I don't care.
Yeah, but still.
One, it's my 35th birthday, and two, I was like, this means I'll never forget their anniversary.
Valid.
And three, no one's ever gotten me an open bar and a live band for my birthday. So
Yeah, right,
like,
yeah,
what
right,
a better way to
Great
celebrate.
Great point.
So-
Very true.
But also, you always get to have that in your back pocket as well, as of like, hey, I gave my birthday up for you.
Yeah.
Like, it is
Yeah,
there.
for
Should you
sure.
need it?
Yep.
That's good.
It's
That's
awesome.
So yeah,
dope,
that was,
man.
that was great. Yeah, and then Sunday we woke up, did a little brunch with like the whole extended family. Kind of said like our last goodbyes to everybody that we just know we won't see for a while, because we do have a lot of family like out in California and stuff like that. And then we took a rental car 4 hours west to Niagara Falls. Stayed in Niagara Falls Sunday night. Woke up Monday morning and did the whole Niagara Falls National Park. There's a
I'm sure
thing
that's
down there
beautiful.
called the Maiden of the Mist, where you literally like go down on a boat. They take you into like the
done
full
that.
horseshoe of the falls and everything like that. So we did
That
that.
one's pretty
Got
cool.
absolutely soaked. It was awesome. Did a little shopping, kind of hung around a little bit, and then caught our plane Monday night. Got in.
Where'd you
about
fly
8
out
o'clock.
of to come back to Chicago? Did you
Buffalo.
fly out of? Okay, I was gonna say Buffalo, Toronto.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, flew back
then when you
from Buffalo, and then we got back in by like 8:30 is when we were basically home chilling, and
Okay.
then we had all day off yesterday, just to kind of
Yeah.
laundry, recuperate, and all that
Recoup.
other shit. So
For sure. Yeah. Flying into New York, man. Where'd you guys fly into? There's like fucking 3 or 4 airports there. Did you fly into what? LaGuardia,
it was LaGuardia, yeah.
JFK? Okay, yeah. Nice. Well,
Yeah.
man, sounds like an
Had
eventful weekend.
pizza like every night when we were in the city. We had like an
For sure.
Airbnb. We had an
Hell
Airbnb
yeah.
like literally in the middle of Midtown. So we could pretty much walk to like whatever food we wanted to go to.
Yeah, that's dope.
But it was cool. It was like a first floor little apartment. It was a 2-bedroom, full kitchen, full bath, and it was dope. It was a nice little spot for what we paid, and Uber's killed us as far as transport went.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I think collectively between the four of us, we spent like just under $500 in Uber.
Oof.
Jeez.
Going back and
Jeez.
forth. So
Yeah.
because after like the first day, my wife and my sister were like, yeah, we're not walking that much anymore.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I get it. I kind of guessed that was going to happen. So
That's dope, man.
It's awesome. Glad to hear it.
yeah, it was a good time. Glad we went. Glad we did it. Congratulations to my cousin and her husband, Tess and Matt.
Congrats.
And,
Shout out.
And yeah, that's it. That was my birthday.
Sounds like a good one.
Yeah,
Cool.
it wasn't bad.
Cool, man. Rounding out the squadron today, of course, it's Big Blue BlakeHolder.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Anyone seen Blue Man Group?
I have.
I actually have. Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
This is
worth the price of admission
this is a while ago. Like this is definitely while I was probably
during
in
their prime.
like grade school,
Yeah.
elementary school.
Are
Like with I did it as a
Are they
family
still
thing.
around?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Should I
That's a
go
good
see
question.
them?
Can't
Yeah,
be
they
the same.
are. I
Can't be the
actually,
same guys though, right? No way it is.
No.
Well, so
I
the
think it
interesting
is.
thing about Blue Man Group is it's not the same guys wherever you go and see them.
Oh, that's how
It's,
dumb I am.
it's
Of course.
all different guys, like for whatever city you're in, because most of the time they have like a
Makes a lot of
residency
sense.
somewhere.
For sure.
So it's like 4 or 5 different guys, in each city that they have a residency
Yeah, I
in or
think
like a
they're-
show in.
They're like local musicians that they
Yeah,
come in and do.
Because I actually know a guy who is one of like just like the stage drummers for them, which is pretty cool. So I've always seen like his Snapchat or Instagram stories of like his face being painted like funky colors because you don't really see him, but he's just kind of like off in the background. So it's just like meant to kind of be like heard but not seen.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw a show and I think maybe like 2013, 2014 somewhere.
Sure.
So
Well, if you guys are free February 4th through the 5th, we can grab tickets to see him in Bloomington.
Valentine's Day. Let's do it.
That's the 14th.
Yeah, I was making plans for us on Valentine's Day. Let's all go.
Well, it's only the 4th and the 5th.
They're not.
Outside of
They're
the
not.
dates.
They're not in Chicago anymore.
No, they're touring.
Damn.
We can go see him
Call Tyler's
in
friend.
Milwaukee.
See if he's free on Valentine's Day.
Oh, there you go.
Just
Yeah, they don't have a
privately drum
Valentine's
for us.
yeah, right. But he's got to be in character though.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
right.
he's got to commit all the way to
It's
it.
like, yeah, I get
that's
all
awesome.
four of like everyone together.
They'll be in Minneapolis. If we want to go there for Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
And just all of us leave our significant others to go to a Blue Man Group show.
Yeah, I mean that's totally acceptable, right? I can't imagine.
I'm
I
sure
can't imagine
no
any
one will
uproar about
overreact.
that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Or bring him with.
Now we're talking. Hey, babe.
Yeah.
I know what we're doing on Valentine's Day.
It's like, yeah, but here's a better idea.
We go to Minneapolis.
Yeah.
Why?
Babe,
Blue
I
Man
booked a
Group.
trip.
In February.
That's
Not at all.
Yeah, let's go north in February. Let's go further north.
Let's go to Minnesota in February.
Yeah. Peak of winter. Let's just casually stroll on up.
Blake's
to
got. If I'm gonna go with
Minneapolis.
anyone, I'm gonna go with Blake. He's got the experience.
yeah. That's funny.
true.
But yeah, man, I mean,
That's true.
talk about learning something though. Yeah, here's I guess granted I did go when I was little, but yeah, my dumbass thought it was the same people.
I mean, I
Turns
also
out.
did. I also thought. Why
Turns
would
out
I
I'm
assume
wrong.
there? Why would I assume that there's like a bunch of blue men?
This is like
I thought it
the
was all the
it's a
same
real Shamu situation. How is there a
Yeah,
different
right.
one at each
Yeah.
park?
Right.
That's funny.
That's good. Anyway, gentlemen, there's blue men. There's a blue man in this movie. Let's talk about it.
That is true.
The bluest of men.
Welcome. Yes. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our main review segment here on Back Row Banter. Nathaniel, if the listener here is new or maybe they've just forgotten, can you give them a rundown of how our review segment works?
Oh, I suppose. Hey there, folks. If you're new or perhaps you've just forgotten the way the rundown works here the way that the review segment works here on Back Row Banter is split into two sections. There's the non-spoiler section, then there's the spoiler section. So that's pretty self-explanatory. In the non-spoiler section, we'll go over who wrote it, who directed it, who's in it, all that good stuff. We'll go over the IMDb summary, see if we would say it's a good summary, I suppose. Also say if we would recommend the movie. It's got to be a yes or no. There is no nuance on the internet. Boy, does that get truer every day. And then it's going to be spoiler time. If you don't have anything spoiled for you for, 15 years on this movie? When was this? 2009? 2008, maybe?
Oh, this was 2009. The year I graduated.
So 16. 16-year-old movie. Yeah. You can avoid those. Go ahead and skip ahead. And you'll see when we get out of spoilers on our show notes and we get into our Entropy list featuring tier list or tier rankings now as well too, which is our big list of everything we've watched on the podcast ranked. So with all that being said, Adam, tell me about Watchmen.
I'd love to. As we just mentioned, this is not a new movie released in the year 2009 with rated R and a runtime of 2 hours and 42 minutes and an IMDb rating of 7.6 out of 10. It is directed by Mr. Zack Snyder with writing credits going to David Hayter and Alex Say, and of course based on the graphic novel by Dave Gibbons. The cast includes, we got a big cast here. I'm going to go to mainly just probably the highlights. Got, is it Malin Ackerman? I'm saying that right? Malin? I'm not sure. Billy Crudup, Matthew Good, Jackie Earl Haley, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Patrick Wilson returns to the podcast. Been a while since we've seen him here. And then Carla Gugino is our last big person there. I think I'm gonna leave it there because after this, it's like a long list of people, and I don't think there's too many names that I'm like really kind of missing on that list. That's our main cast, I would say. The IMDb summary reads as follows. In a version of 1985 where superheroes exist, the murder of a colleague sends active vigilante Rorschach on the trail of a conspiracy that will change the course of history. For as dense as this movie is, it's pretty good summary. I mean, that there's not like some sizzle in there that gets me like excited or teased in there. Although I guess they change the course of history, sure. But you got a lot to summarize here. The fact that they did that in one sentence is pretty impressive. I think that does a pretty decent job. This is kind of a alternate timeline that we're seeing here of reality. So it's somewhat loose based in our world. There are common historical events, but at some point this kind of universe branches off from ours. Different things go down. And one of those different things that goes down is superheroes are a thing. And now we're a few decades into that branch off, and we're kind of seeing the state of the world at the height of what is a very, I guess you could say this extends the Cold War. When is the Cold War technically over? Was it late 70s?
It's the 80s.
Or was it still the 80s? But
Yeah.
I guess it was. Yeah.
It's when the Berlin Wall
fell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that was the 80s. But either way.
This is set in 85, I think, isn't it?
Yes, 85. But alternate universe 85.
Right.
Yeah, no Berlin Wall.
Cold War ended in 1991 with the decision of the Soviet Union on December 26, 1991, which marked the formal end of the global geopolitical rivalry between the United States and the Soviet Union.
Good stuff.
There it is.
Yeah. Tyler, this is your birthday pick, sir.
Indeed, it is.
Why? Tell me more.
I saw this movie probably right in high school in 2009 when it came out. I obviously have a pretty good foundation with just superheroes in general. I had read the graphic novel probably a year before I saw this and just kind of like fell in love with it in general. I loved the idea of it being set in like the Cold War era, but like in our timeline. So having like kind of like what you said, like present events happening in our world at that time, but there being superheroes involved, and it was just a really, really cool mashup for me at the time. And I fell in love with the graphic novel. And then when the movie came out, I saw it, and like visually, actors I had never like met before, musically, just like things that all just kind of came together in the right time and place. This is something that is very much of a comfort movie for me, and something that I find very easy for me to consume on a relatively regular basis. So, and as I told you guys, it was either this or Alita Battle Angel, and Nathaniel knows my relationship with that movie. So once we kind of talked it out and Blake answered back with Watchmen immediately, I was like, okay, cool, that works for me. Like, I only needed one person to like twist my arm, and since Blake was the first one to answer, I was totally cool with that.
Word.
Yeah. So Adam, is this was this your first watch?
No,
I'd have to
this
imagine.
is this is only my second watch, and I can't remember my first time watching this. I think it's been between now and the start of this podcast. I don't think I saw it before this podcast started. So sometime in the last like 5 years or so. But it's been a couple years at least since I have seen it. But it was one of those movies I have a fun relationship. Well, not necessarily a fun relationship, but it's one of those movies that I was 9 when it came out, so I was way too young to see. But my brothers weren't, and so my brothers raved about this movie. And my one brother, Scott, especially, I was talking to him about it today. He loves this movie and like loved it at the time. Like this was his like favorite movie. He like he had, I remember he actually made his own like smiley face button
The button.
Yeah.
that like
Nice.
that like mimicked the comedian one, and he like had it on his backpack for a little bit in like, you know, middle school or high school, whatever it was, however it was.
Yeah, I saw
So, yeah,
that
I-
pin everywhere
Yep.
after
Yeah.
this movie
Yeah.
came
Sure.
out.
Yeah. So it had a lot of hype for me when I did sit down to first watch it, and really enjoyed it that time. And so second time sitting down to watch it, definitely really enjoyed it this time around. Although I think some of the kind of listen, this is a long movie, and it's not one of those. You know,
It's
242
too long. This
runtime.
is not even one long. It's two longs for
It's
Adam.
too long, and maybe it was just the headspace I was in watching this movie. Because I'll be honest, I've had a busy month and didn't want to watch a 3-hour movie necessarily. But at the same time, I was watching it. I'm like, all right, I'm into this movie. I'm bought in and everything. Like,
Yeah.
we're going well. But there is just so much stuff that I feel like could be trimmed down from this movie to make it closer to like 220, 215.
Sure.
And I think the pacing would help, or would help this movie feel a little bit better on that front. But regardless, that's my biggest criticism, I would say, of this movie is the runtime. But it's Zack Snyder, and we've all seen
Zack Snyder.
his movies. Is this his breakout movie? Is this like, or is it 300? Did this
Yeah,
come out after
300's
300?
right
It's
before this.
300.
300.
300's what,
Okay.
probably 2007?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think.
Yeah, I think that sounds right.
Or 06
Something like
maybe.
Let me see. Yeah.
Because 300 definitely gives him the pull to do this, I think.
Yeah.
Sure.
You are correct, by the way. 300 is 06.
Yeah,
Okay.
That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's long. That's my biggest like criticism of it as a whole.
It's long.
But other than that, like, it's a fun movie.
Mhm.
In you know, like some fun characters. It does, like, in terms
Is
of
it
superhero
fun?
movies.
Would you call it a fun movie?
Maybe fun isn't the word. I'll take fun back. I'll walk that back a little bit. But it's a good movie
Sure.
with some good characters. Very well acted, well directed too. Zack Snyder probably since this movie hasn't directed a lot of my favorites, but you know, this one is good. You know, not credit and nods to where it's due. And I think in terms of superhero movies, and especially when this came out, it came out at such a, like 2009. You got to think that's just right after Iron Man, and this is kind of during the Dark Knight trilogy. Like, interesting time for this to release, because it is definitely darker DC-esque, but it kind of does what, like, it's very like Joker and the Batman kind of world, but done in 2009, which I think is
for sure.
kind of remarkable and stands out even today. So I definitely like the aesthetic and like kind of the world that they build around the superheroes. It's definitely very unique, something I don't think we've really seen a lot of since this movie came out. And so yeah, I think it's a cool universe to live in for superheroes and stuff. And I'm definitely recommend all around. Don't want to like knock on this movie too much. I think this movie's really, really good.
Yeah, no, I think that's important about the statement about the universe. Like, up until this, you really only got the DC universe and the MCU, and then you finally got this. And now the only thing I would say that's even close to branching off from either of those two is the Boys universe. So
Sure.
just getting an entirely different look at an entirely different version of superheroes in general. And the cool thing about this is this isn't all just superheroes. This is very much like Iron Man, Batman, kind of. You have like your detective people who are forced more on like gadgets and focusing more on like their fighting skills, not just like having the people that, you know, were genetically mutated, or, you know, some kind of accident happened, or they were born, you know, with something or another. And so yeah, it was a really cool time when this came out.
Yeah, I mean, I can talk now. I didn't see this in theaters when it came out. I want to say I saw this in college the first time.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, because
So that's what? That's post 2011.
Yeah, that would have been 2011 to 2015. I probably saw it
Okay.
in 2013, 2014 or something like that. I
Yeah.
feel like I remember watching it on Netflix one night or something like that. And it was immediate. I do remember it being like something where I'm like, I can tell this is an adaptation, and that like I can tell that the source material is amazing. But like this, I was just kind of like, okay, this is pretty good, and I kind of get it. And then I want to say when the series was coming out, I went back and read the source material for the first time, and I mean, it is genuinely amazing. Like Watchmen, the comic book, or Watchmen, the graphic novel, excuse me, is genuinely like an amazing piece of writing, storytelling, like a great example in the medium. But
I've heard great things.
never something that you would recommend to someone as their first comic book or their first graphic novel, right? I think it helps that like I read it after 12 to 15 years of the MCU being the dominant force in pop culture, right? Because then it becomes this kind of big deconstruction of the superhero and has a lot of kind of philosophical ruminations to go through. It's also very literary, like part of the like all of Ozymandias and like his whole kind of deal is super based and steeped in literary traditions, and there's a lot of literary storytelling language that Alan Moore uses in the setup of this. As Adam like kind of talked about, it's very dense, and it truly is. There is a lot going on here. And I think the movie as an adaptation does an admirable job of that, but it doesn't adapt the feel of the comic. It just kind of adapts the scope,
The world.
like the world itself. And
sure.
I think that is that once you've read the comic is like, that's kind of a bummer in some ways. And I try and separate that from the movie every now and then, but I think that still kind of gets me on this one. This time I watched the Ultimate Edition. I don't know if we've talked about this at all yet. So on HBO, there's like the full edition that has the Tales from the Black Freighter movie like spliced into it as well too, and I watched that. So it was actually 3.5 hours.
Okay.
But
that's 3 longs for anyone listening at home. That's a long movie.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought that was an interesting way to go about it, having seen the original one and read the comic, which obviously has that kind of device in it as well too. So yeah, I like this movie. I don't love it. I don't have the same nostalgia that like Tyler has for it, I would say, but I can definitely appreciate it for this kind of like high watermark in Zack Snyder's career, as well as like I do think what it's going for is admirable, but it's just tough when there is a like what I feel is a superior version out there.
Sure.
That is like, again, rightfully a icon in its genre.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, like that, like you hit the nail on the head. Like that, it does kind of suck that that there is a higher end source material out there, and the world is what I think drew me in so much from the movie, and I think they nailed it from an aesthetic standpoint. Obviously, when we always do kind of like those book movie comparisons, there's always that the book is probably more than likely going to edge out the movie adaptation in almost every single scenario. And yeah, I mean the graphic novel itself is quite literally like you said, an icon in its own right in pretty much any kind of graphic novel status that you put it in. It's still on every shelf in almost every comic book store that you go to, still in every bookshelf in Barnes and Noble.
We carry 3 versions, right? Like we have,
so it's still just so massive in its own right. So yeah, I definitely recommend obviously the movie, but if you are a reader or you are looking into getting in something, if you're more of a comic book heavy person, perfect example is one of our top contributors from the fan side of things, Ryan Foley. I would consider him a very heavy comic book reader, but probably not much of a bookworm. This would be where I would say get the novel, the graphic novel, jump into that. It'll give you a very good kind of in between a book and a comic book, and it'll definitely scratch an itch. So if you have the ability to want to read it, I highly recommend that you definitely give it a try, because it is quite literally phenomenal.
It is a literary work for sure. Definitely worth checking out on that side of things. And I would like
it's almost as good as Nathaniel's dissertation.
Almost. This one has more art than my dissertation did.
Yeah, I could only see you drawing pictures for your dissertation. If we were friends back then, you could have sent me your dissertation and I could have illustrated it for you.
There we go. There it is.
That's funny.
So Blake, where do you sit with this one? Because I feel like in some ways, this movie is like your perfect superhero movie. It's like a deconstruction of the superhero genre, right? And kind of like taking it in that realm and being not what I want to say like nihilistic with it, but like, or even realistic, but like being a little bit more like, hey, this might not go how you guys think, kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is one I did catch in theaters. I caught this in theaters in 2009. So this is what made my freshman year of high school, 8th grade. And I saw it with my dad. And this is one that I saw it in full sitting in theater, and I guess I didn't really have the mental capacity to kind of have the true takeaway of the film, right? To be transparent at that time.
Sure.
But it was something that was very stylized and I enjoyed. And then just throughout the entirety of high school, this is a film that was always on like HBO and all the time. So anytime I walk in, like my dad be sitting on the couch watching something, and I'm like, "What are you watching?" He's like, "Watchmen." So like, this is probably one of my dad's favorite movies. So I would have to text him and get a confirmation on that. If not one of his favorites, definitely something that he's seen the most.
Sure,
I could probably at least confirm that. So yeah, I've seen it in passing a ton. Ultimately, though, this past viewing is probably only like my second or third viewing from beginning to end in totality. So it was kind of new to me because I haven't seen it in years. I'd probably have to go back to college. So ultimately, though, I mean, I do enjoy the movie, man. I mean, I don't have the graphic novel knowledge and ideology as far as that, and I can see how this movie is heavy, and so I can only imagine the graphic novel, right? As you even exacerbate that further, but it fits for me, right? It is lengthy to Adam's point, and I kind of forgot how long it was till I was searching it. I pull it up, and it's like 249 or something like that, 251. I was like, holy shit, this movie's that long. But yeah, overall, I'm invested. I'm invested enough in the stories. I'm invested enough in the characters. And ultimately, I just remember at the time too, at least when I saw it in theaters, and I think this was kind of Adam's point, was that it was the first time I do remember like seeing a superhero film that was like, oh, like this isn't your run of the mill, like, I don't know, Spider-Man story, right? It was like, oh, this is actually really heavy. There's heavy themes. You're in a world that's super stylized. It's very fucking Zack Snyder movie where everything's fucking dark. There's slow motion all the fucking time. So you kind of pick up on that stuff now with this viewing. But yeah, ultimately, man, I do like it. Is it my favorite Zack Snyder film? It's like, I don't know if I'd go that far. I actually really enjoy Man of Steel. As I think I know you guys know, I talked about that when we did the Superman 2025 review, but it's up there, man. I do like the movie. So, and it's awesome to get an iteration of Dr. Manhattan on screen, which I think this is the only one we have, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, overall, I do like it. I would recommend it. What's the other one?
The series.
There's an animated series.
Well, no, not even. There's not even the animated series. It was a live action HBO series from a few years ago.
Oh,
yes,
you're
that's
correct.
The other one. Yeah, that's the other one I was
correct.
To.
You are correct. There is a Watchmen HBO series as well. But yeah, ultimately, man, I do enjoy it. It is heavy. Something that this past viewing, like I said, was probably my first viewing in about like 7 to 8 years. So there are kinds of things that go over my head, and I can now take into a different capacity with how much I enjoy films now. But yeah, it's solid. I would recommend it. It's kind of niche, but I would recommend it. It is a quality film. I don't think I can go as far as say I don't recommend. There's a lot of like garbage at the bottom of our list, so I can't put it there. But it is niche. I would say it is very niche field where it's not just because somebody likes, I don't know, fucking Thor: Love and Thunder doesn't mean they're gonna like this movie, right? Kind of two totally different things, but that's where I'm at.
Cool. Well, then it sounds like we're recommends all the way around. So let's go ahead and head into spoilers. So if you've not seen Watchmen and do not want it spoiled for you, go ahead, check the episode description. I've left a timestamp you can jump to, or you'll be taken to the ranking of the movie up upon our Entropy list.
Spoilers. Shit goes down.
That was sultry. It does. It does indeed. That's a dense movie, man.
Yeah, there's
was
so
long-
many
this was
characters in
longer.
this too. It's heavy, very dialogue driven. A ton of fucking characters. To your point, I think you only list maybe the top 6 people or something like that.
Yeah.
When we were doing kind of roll call for lack of a better term. But yeah, there's a ton of moving pieces in this. So, but yeah,
And-
feel free, Ty, to jump in here, or Nathaniel. I mean, it's obviously Ty's birthday pick, so whatever you guys want to kind of
Yeah.
dissect first, I'm all ears.
Go ahead, Tyler.
Yeah, man. I think there's a lot here. You know, it's dense, like we keep saying, but you know, I think the overall themes of this movie are just kind of some of those that will resonate through time, and will continue to do so for a long time. As far as like some of my favorite parts, visual effects for the time and still being able to hold up today are phenomenal. I don't think anybody would argue that.
Dr. Manhattan's blowing dudes up is particularly visceral.
Mm.
Yeah,
It is,
for sure.
especially when they're all hanging from the ceiling at one point.
Yeah. I almost
is-
forgot how like gory this film is too, right? Like I always remember it
Yeah.
being dark thematically and visually, but there's certain scenes that's like, holy shit, I totally forgot this. But it is rated R, so it makes sense. But yeah,
Yeah.
dude, I totally forgot how.
I
gruesome
just
this was.
remember like seeing the trailers in 2008. It must have been, and like it being like the best-selling graphic novel of all time. I was like, I've never fucking heard of this thing. Like I was like a kid, and
Yeah.
like it wasn't Spider-Man, Superman, or Batman. So I was like, there's other graphic novels. Like what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then it coming out, and then like if you guys have never read Alan Moore as a comic book writer, like genuinely an incredible talent, but one of the darkest minds you've ever come across. Like you are never safe in an Alan Moore comic book in any form. And like there's certain parts of that, particularly with the character of Rorschach in this, that are just like so edgy, and you can't quite feel like, you sometimes feel like it's walking that line of satire as well too. I don't know. I think it's an interesting, like obviously the story is interesting, but then once you're kind of like have that element of removal to it that like I think we always take to superhero movies nowadays, where you're kind of like, okay, you can almost view these characters as like, well, Rorschach is a Batman gone too far kind of thing. And kind of like view them through the lens of other superheroes as well too, because they're not tied to a DC or a Marvel. I always think that's an interesting part to the Watchmen like viewing experience as well.
Yeah, I think drawing those lines to what you're familiar with is important for where you see that character in that timeline. Originally, I had always put
Night
I don't
Owl.
want to call him Night Owl.
It is Night Owl, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm like, just for reference, I did not watch this movie coming into this week. I've seen it more than enough times, and just did not have time or want to make time to sit down and watch, like a 3-hour long movie. So, but yeah, at first I always drew that correlation from Night Owl to Batman.
Sure.
You got the gadgets, the masks, the costumes look similar. He's got his little owl hovercraft, which I always thought was super awesome. It can make its own clouds, and then you can have sex in it, which is cool.
Yeah. Little on the nose.
Yeah.
The flamethrower. I've seen more subtle metaphors.
You know what? I don't know about you guys. There's not a better place to do it than in your hovercraft floating above the city.
Well, Leonard Cohen
that sounds pretty.
is late 80s plays in the background.
That sounds pretty fun.
The saddest part of Shrek plays over here.
Unreal. The fight scenes and the gore are phenomenal.
Pretty cool. The fryer oil, man, that one still sticks with me, and I knew about that one. I remember, I feel like at some point I was in a library and I came across Watchmen the comic, and I was flipping through it, and I just opened up to the oil prison fight scene, and I was just like, nope, that's enough of that for today.
My God.
So yeah,
just being able to make skin like that bubble, and you could fucking smell that scene.
and just how many? I can't tell you how many just ridiculous children saw that scene and then immediately in their heads was you're not all locked in here, or I'm not locked in here with you, you're all locked in here with me. And made that their whole personality.
That's what I remember hearing.
You're just an obnoxious asshole. Great. This will be fun to deal with for the next 10 years.
Choreography for the fight scenes, the alley fight scene, the prison fight scene are just done so well. And then yes, you do get quite a bit of slow motion in there. I don't know how you can't. It's Zack Snyder, so you gotta have it. But I do think it's used.
That's
well.
why this movie's so long.
I don't think it's overly used in some of his other films. So I think most of it's used pretty well. Rorschach has become one of my favorite characters. I think in a superhero universe.
I think Jackie Earl Haley in particular is really good in this as Rorschach.
Kills it.
He's and that
I
character in the comics is looks a certain way and has a certain thing, and he just totally nails that without necessarily looking a whole lot physically like the character, but just his whole attitude, the way he carries himself,
demeanor, his demeanor, his attitude, the way he walks. I mean, he completely enveloped that character and ran with it, and I think he absolutely crushed. He's probably my favorite part about the movie. And then you do get some blue dong on screen. You just you gotta have it.
Paving the way for Avatar.
Yeah.
Actually, this might have been the same year, but
it was
a big year for big blue people.
Yeah, for sure.
It was. Blue Man Group was at their peak.
Maybe we bring it back.
I think this is one of the coolest.
Maybe we go to Minneapolis in February.
Is it time to return to 2009?
It might be.
Man, what a trip that would be. One of the greatest opening scenes for kind of giving you a present timeline, not only the opening scene with the comedian, but the whole title opening.
That's probably my favorite part of the movie. I gotta be honest.
Yeah.
The history of superheroes through those kind of painterly one or almost a newspaper style shots that you're kind of moving around and that kind of thing. That's so good. And I think is a great adaptation from the comics, where those scenes are typically more like 2 or 3 panels in those comics.
And yeah, kind of, like what Nathaniel was saying earlier about people quoting Rorschach. I didn't quote that specific scene, but there was a time where I think Justin and I were playing, I want to say, a Fallout game at the time pretty heavily. And so I would constantly make my character just jump onto things in the game, like
Sure.
on a desk. And then I'd be like, "Oh, dude, Justin, come here, check this out." And he would like come over here and look at it, and I would just be like, "Rorschach's journal," and just start doing some absurd
The
thing.
city,
like
the city will cry out,
Rorschach.
"Save me!"
Yeah,
And I'll say no.
yeah. And he would just be like, "Shut the fuck up." So yeah, that was definitely me. I was just being Rorschach in every essence and chance that I could possibly take advantage of.
So part of this movie too that I feel like suffers from is that like the 3 most interesting characters aren't really the main character. Like Rorschach is obviously like, he's kind of your point of view character because you obviously get the Rorschach journal, but he's clearly an insane person, and like he's probably the most fleshed out part of it, like because his whole identity is kind of built up into it, and you get that good gut punch. And I think like if you don't know who Rorschach is, the reveal is pretty good. Like I think it works pretty well that the guy that has been doing the end is nigh kind of thing is revealed to be him, obviously. But then like the Dr. Manhattan bits I think are good, but not great. I honestly think they're better in the series. Which is kind of like a little bit of a spoiler, but like that becomes more of a question there, and it's really interestingly handled. And then I think the other really interesting character is Ozymandias, which like at the end of the day, I feel like this movie kind of ignores a lot because it's like saving him for the reveal of the ultimate villain. But at the end of the day, he's kind of like the only member of the Watchmen that you don't really know all that much about until the final act, and then it's kind of like, oh yeah, of course it's him kind of thing. I mean, bonus points for orchestrating the no, I wouldn't tell you this if I hadn't already done it 30 minutes ago, like twist reveal, but I don't know, like I don't know if it like upon rewatch like of this one, I don't know if it's just like we have 4K TVs in 2025 or whatever, but you could totally tell that is Ozymandias just beating the shit out of the comedian in the opening scene as well too. And like I feel like it's just not a huge twist what is happening overall with him and that kind of thing. The twist is obviously that like he goes through with it and quote unquote like wins.
Yeah, I mean, this is where an OLED would probably do a movie justice in most cases, because it'll just crush those black levels and you really can't tell who it is. But yeah, obviously, if you have any kind of sense of the movie, you would genuinely have to find somebody who's never seen this movie, never watched a trailer or anything like that, for them to really get the full effect of what happens from start to finish. I think it's really impactful that Dr. Manhattan is the one that has to kill Rorschach in the end.
Oh yeah,
to let him not be able to tell the whole world what kind of transpired there. And I think that's probably one of the most impactful things in the film for me, from like when I first watched it. I mean, even obviously I know I can't say everything because again, dense movie, but I know pretty much everything that happens in this movie from start to finish. And yeah, that's probably one of the more impactful things. I do love the scene where they're going through Dr. Manhattan's timeline, and they're kind of framing him for everybody around him having cancer and everything like that. and everyone's like crowding him, and he's just like, I said, leave me alone. And then he just shows up on Mars, and then he just makes like this giant glass clock thing that he's just meditating in for the rest of his life. But yeah, I also enjoyed Dr. Manhattan's timeline quite a bit, and going through how he came to be, essentially.
Yeah,
He's such a like unique and interesting character too. Like, I don't know, there's a lot of layers to him, and it makes me his character makes me want to read the comic book more, because I heard it gets really like philosophical kind of, and they
it's
touch on
wild.
that a little bit. Yeah, they touch a little bit on it. And I think there's a good line of, when the comedian's killing that pregnant woman in Vietnam, and he goes, well, why didn't you just, like, you're complaining I killed her, like, you could have stopped me, like there would have
Turn the
been
bullets to
nothing.
dust. You could have
Yeah, the gun to
melted the gun.
mercury.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, what
You're
are you
losing
doing
your touch.
chastising me? Yeah, right. Like, what are you doing chastising me? Like, you have full control of that situation if you want it, but you're not going to do anything with it. It's like, that's such an interesting, like, you're still enabling things, even though you're trying to play,
Yeah, and
this omnipotent kind of good person, but like, you still don't seem to value human life. It's very interesting.
well, and even there, like you get that weird like element where like Ozymandias does trick him. Like he proves that he's not all powerful, but then at the same time, like Ozymandias totally doesn't, for some reason, predict that like disintegrating him will not prevent him from coming back again as well too.
Mhm.
Like it's such that every character in this is like actionable and like in some ways intelligent, but they also have their own flaws that they just can't see for their own selves as well too. Like, and I think that
Right.
I mean, if I had any criticisms, I think that like becomes most apparent with the women in this
Sure.
like story, and like it's just, I mean, it's not great to them overall. It just as a general rule, and like even in the ways that they kind of like try and justify it, I understand it, but it just feels very written by a man in some ways. And I mean that from like the source material as well too. Like Alan Moore is very talented, but even he has his limitations as a dude that's writing in the 80s, right? But yeah, I think it's if anything, like it as a movie and as an adaptation, like it is still trying to condense a lot of source material into a smaller package. And so with a huge cast of characters, you don't always get that same depth to those characters. I think some of that like relationship that you lose is the older Night Owl and younger Night Owl. Kind of like
Hollis Mason.
Yeah, Hollis Mason. Like I think that's kind of explored a little bit more, and like more of the older heroes as well too are expanded a little bit more in the comics. Justifiable edits that they have to make, I think. But maybe gives a little bit more background to the world further. I will say, and I don't know, having like not seen the traditional version in so long, I think the voyage of the Black Freighter does a cool job of introducing the kid that's reading the comics with the newsstand guy and kind of like building their relationship more. So when they inevitably get iced by the Manhattan bomb, like it's a little bit more affecting.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I think I watched that one probably for the first time maybe like 3 years ago.
Sure.
So relatively recently. And yeah, I thought that was a really, really impactful piece to kind of throw in there. At first, when I saw it, I was very confused. I'm like, did it just change? Like, what am I?
Yeah.
What am I watching?
Why
Because
were
it
you
does
watching
go
the anime?
full animation, yeah. Like right in the middle of the movie. But I definitely, you are right. I agree. It definitely adds quite a little bit more emotion into that.
I wish Zack Snyder had the balls to do the squid ending.
I mean,
I don't know what that means.
read a book. No.
It's barely a book.
in the spoilers for anyone that hasn't read the comics, I suppose, but in the original comics, like it's a.
Well, hold on. Do I need to take my headphones off?
It doesn't change.
Are you gonna read it? You just shit on it. And
I
you're
want to
like,
read it.
Barely a book.
That's not shitting on it. That's just classifying it. It's
Um,
very good, close to being a book. I've heard it's the best. It's really good.
Some would
Oh,
say it's
God.
the best graphic novel.
And we got
biggest.
there. And we got
Millions and millions of copies sold.
okay. I picked the thing up. I said, "Holy cow, it's huge." All right, we can stop. Man, I wish this was on video. We could just see the. You gotta laugh. You gotta laugh, man. You know, you just gotta roll with it.
That's how I get through life. Probably
You know?
90% of the time.
Yeah, yeah.
It's either make
Anyway.
myself laugh or make someone
Anyway.
else laugh.
The squid ending.
I wish they'd done the squid ending.
Are you gonna
If you know,
elaborate?
you know. We'll just leave it at
Okay.
that.
If you know, you
Okay,
know.
fine.
I won't spoil
Yeah,
it for
that's-
Adam here.
That's fair.
Adam
Thank you.
should read the comic and then watch the
I will.
series.
I
Okay.
absolutely will. I've
So
I've
that
heard
was
the
my
series
other
is
thing
incredible.
too. We talked about how hard it is, and we've talked about this before. How hard it is to take something that is in a book and put it into a 2.5 hour, 3 hour long movie. And so we've always talked about like our series better for being able to depict a book. And I think we've all agreed that yes, it is.
Dude.
Because, you know, in the grand scheme of things,
Sure.
10, 13 hours is so much more for you to be able to put on screen than just 2.5, 3, sometimes even just 2. So yeah, I have not watched the series completely through. I started it when it first came out and then just got busy. So it is definitely something that I very much look forward to going through and binging.
I don't know why, upon watching this, Zack Snyder hasn't been doing series. It's what he's born to do. He should stop just making 6-hour movies and just
Honestly, it's a
make
valid point.
just make 4-episode TV shows, man. Because like he tries to make it interesting the whole time, and a lot of times he succeeds. But at hour 3, I'm just like, all right, bro. Like my ass is tired of being in this chair. Like you could be putting the most interesting thing on the screen right now. I don't give a fuck anymore. I am bodily tired. I need a break.
For sure. And what's funny too about that, when you guys get on just the length of the film, and everyone, or not everyone, but portion of us were kind of here harping on like, hey, well, it is like 2 hours and 50 minutes. It's like that's not even Zack Snyder's longest film.
No.
And the film that's got it beat has it beat by like an hour plus, which is just funny to even think about.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. So yeah,
He's got-
Nathaniel may have a point, man.
He's got 4 longs in one movie.
Yeah, according to Adam, he's got a long Snyder cut.
Snyder Cut's too long. Anyone who thinks that Snyder Cut saved that movie is kidding themselves.
Honestly, I know 2 people that could probably argue that it did. And their names are Ryan Foley and Rob Gilland.
So
They're wrong.
have you guys heard about the original like version that of characters that Alan Moore wanted to use?
No.
So the characters that he used, like Watchmen and like its characters, are now owned by DC, right? But at the time when this movie originally came out, they were not. And in fact, he originally wanted to use characters in the Charlton Comics universe, which has also subsequently gone on to be owned by DC. But at the time, they were a separate thing. And the characters, you might know, or we will probably know some of them, but like, so Rorschach originally would have been the Question, which has like gone on to be kind of like a Batman adjacent character as well too. They also wear like a sock over their face kind of thing and have a hat. Dr. Manhattan would have been Captain Atom, but Night Owl was supposed to be Blue Beetle. who we obviously got a movie of a few years ago.
Yeah, standalone.
And like, yeah, it's traditionally a little bit more has like the like ship that you drive around and that kind of thing. Silk Spectre was going to be Nightshade. Ozymandias was going to be a character called Thunderbolt. But the one that most people I think would know nowadays was the comedian was actually originally Peacemaker.
Oh,
And he actually, the character comes from that universe as well too. So yeah,
Interesting.
weird thing.
John Cena may not have been that great in that role.
I have heard season 2 of Peacemaker is great though.
Been watching
I
it?
have heard similar things.
Bit of sizzle. I can bring it up in what we've been watching.
Cool. Well, we are pretty long into this spoiler segment in this episode, fellas. So, do we have any closing thoughts? Anything else?
You guys have a favorite character, favorite scene?
That's a great question.
Dr. Manhattan, just fucking going nuclear, for lack of a better term, on just humans, for sure.
That scene in Vietnam where he's like blocking
Yeah.
out the sun is insane.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Rorschach is obviously like pretty cool. Cool dude. Fun watching him on screen.
My favorite character is the tiny man in prison who is willingly sacrificing his followers to try and get to Rorschach, and that does not go well.
That is a great bit.
Yeah. So let me ask you this then too, as well, then, fellas. Well, Ty, what's your favorite scene? First off, it is your birthday pick, brother.
I just thoroughly enjoy Rorschach. Probably the most in this movie. I just like we said, I like the way that Haley carries himself. He just kind of envelops himself in that character and really just makes it his own and carries it so well. So and then the small pieces you get where you see him throughout the movie in the background, where you just notice that he's just walking around without his mask, is a killer little touch.
Yeah. Now, where do you guys rank Watchmen in Zack Snyder's filmography?
Gotta be up there, right?
Pretty high for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll have to
probably
look and see specifically.
Yeah, your heavy hitters are probably 300, Dawn of the Dead, which is his
Sucker
first
Punch.
film.
Both
Sucker
Rebel
Punch,
Moons.
which I've never seen.
I'm just
Rebel
joking.
Moon.
It's definitely not. It's the one people forget. 300.
I was like, yeah, I've never even seen that. And then I think you'd probably have to end up throwing in like Man of Steel and probably Batman vs Superman.
The Legend of the Guardians, Owls of Ga'Hoole.
Definitely
top
that
tier.
one.
Yeah, no, I think Watchmen is I mean, it's got to be pretty close to number one for me.
Okay.
Dawn of the Dead, 2004 is pretty
It's pretty great.
great.
Written by
it is a
James-
classic.
written by James
give you
Gunn.
that. Yeah.
So yeah, I think my top three in no particular order would probably have to be Dawn of the Dead, 300, and Watchmen.
Gotcha. Okay.
I
Fair.
second that.
Fair.
I haven't
Adam,
seen
are
Dawn of
you
the Dead.
versed enough in Snyderverse?
I haven't seen Dawn of the Dead, and no, I'm not versed
No pun
enough in
intended.
Zack Snyder
Okay.
to really have a super valid opinion of the ones I've seen. This is probably my favorite, and then 300.
Okay.
But not like I'm super jazzed about any of his DC movies.
Sure. You
And
didn't like Army of the Dead?
It was probably good, and probably I enjoyed more than any of his DC movies. So that might be three. That might
Sure.
be three for me. Funny enough.
Okay. Fair.
All right. One last thing I want to shout out on this movie is the soundtrack. Some killer songs, some killer like needle
Yeah,
drops.
for
I would
sure.
say very
Man.
well used, very well timed.
Yeah, they were
You-
abrupt.
you were
This
saying.
I was saying I was gonna ask if this was like the dawn of the beginning of that era of needle drops in cinema.
It might be, dude. I don't know. I'd have to go back and watch a little bit more about
What were
was
we
coming out at
doing
this time.
in 2009?
I don't
I don't know.
think these are. I don't think it. Really brought in the needle drop because nothing like really happens on cue with like the music that I can remember like super intensely. But taking iconic songs from a certain time period and making them part of your movie,
Yeah.
I think is where this could potentially be like one of those things where it started.
Yeah. It's a good one, gents. Let's get her up on the entropy list. Welcome back, listeners who skipped over the spoiler segment of the podcast. We're going to go ahead and throw up Watchmen up upon our entropy list. For those of you who do not know, the entropy list is Back Row Banter's official list of all the movies we have reviewed, regardless of genre, regardless of anything else, all on one fantastic list. It's essentially how we rate our movies rather than do out of 5 stars, out of 10, whatever it is. We throw up all the movies we review on a list and see how they compare to one another. If you want to reference the entropy list for yourself, you can do so by checking the episode description, where it is linked to my Letterboxd. Also, noting on the entropy list, we now have it in tiers. So there are now 7 tiers to our list. The ranking is the same. We just kind of rank them where we want to rank them, and then they wherever they get put, they fall into one of 7 categories. This is entry 250 on our entropy list. We also need to add caught stealing on here. No, do that quick
Do we?
at the end of this. Yeah, we guys didn't give rankings. Just what tiers it would go into.
Okay, that's the episode you missed, right? Is that why we skipped that one? Okay, yeah.
But Watchmen, let's do that first. I think Army of the Dead is the highest rated.
Is it?
movie on this list? Yeah, it is. Pretty sure.
Is that no? We don't have Man of Steel, right?
I guess so. Yeah, that's what I was
No, we
thinking
only
as
have
well.
New
too.
Superman 2025.
That's kind of what I was
Is
thinking.
Man of Steel, is that Zack Snyder?
Yes.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Then that's number 3 for me. Actually, maybe number.
That's my favorite Zack Snyder film. Like this is actually
That
close.
actually might
I
be-
really like Man of Steel. Though,
This and Man of Steel are close, I would say.
yeah.
Zack Snyder is.
Well, this is going to go significantly higher than 197.
That's deeper.
Is that Army of the Dead?
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, dude, this is pretty good, and it was very groundbreaking for its time to put this on film. Obviously, we know it pulls from the novel, as we were talking about. It may not pull accurately, but it does kind of transmit some heavy themes that go from novel to film. So, I mean, I'm thinking like rough basis. I'm probably B tier, right? That's probably where I'm starting.
I've got like a range of movies here. I think that it's between, but I can't remember what tier that is.
B tier is The Notebook. That's the end of B tier is The Notebook. The beginning of it is Glass Onion.
Okay, so yeah, I'm in B tier as well too.
Okay, yeah.
I've got a spot for this.
Go ahead,
I'm
brother.
deciding.
Let it rip.
I'm gonna do it at 140, below American Gangster, above Moana. I think American Gangster has that kind of like similar scope, but is maybe more of a movie than this one, where like this is more of an adaptation. And I think Moana is like another where I'm like, this is a really good example of a kids movie. And I think like Watchmen is like a really good example of a deconstructed superhero movie. And then if I'm looking at things around there, I got like Blair Witch Project, Power of the Dog, Creed 3, Quiet Place. It's kind of where I'm feeling with that. But I do think this is better than like Fall Guy, Monkey, Maxine, Prey, which is, should tell you something because I really like Prey and kind of some of those other ones down there as well too. So
Yeah, that's a good basis. I think I'm actually pretty close to there myself. I think I'm actually bumping it up a little bit. Yeah, I'm bumping up a little bit. And obviously, there's kind of some ins and outs that you may not always agree with in certain films. But I think ultimately my floor is going to be Soul. So I'm going to put it above Creed 3. I think Creed 3 is a film that I think it's okay, but it's the third in its series, the worst in its series. That being said, right, so I think I'm going to go ahead and kind of put Watchmen as a one of one novel adaptation above that. So I'm going to go ahead and go 135. You could convince me to go above Multiverse of Madness, though. I'm not gonna lie, fellas.
That was when I was
Like
saying
you
anything about
could, yeah. If that's where you're going at, you can convince me to match you.
I'm not going right there. I'm going to
Okay.
go actually a little bit higher, surprisingly. I didn't think I was going to be on the higher end of this ranking, but I mean, there's definitely movies that you guys are putting this below, or I'm like questioning that a little bit. I'm going to give this movie some justice despite me being on the it's seeming like more negative side of
Don't
this.
worry, I'll
as
give
we're
it plenty
talking
of
about.
justice, especially
Yeah,
in
I
comparison
know
to where
you
these
are.
guys are putting it. Fuck
Yeah,
yeah.
I know you are. I think I will put this right below Good Will Hunting and right above Terminator at 104. That's the OG spot that I was kind of eyeing, and it still feels right as I've kind of looked at it more. But I
Okay.
think Good Will Hunting's kind of my ceiling for how high I want to put this. And there's just like a lot of movies that I see below that ranking where I'm like, yeah, I think that's just not necessarily that I'd want to watch this movie before these other ones, but I just think it's a better overall, more well-made movie than some of the ones below it.
Yeah,
That's kind
yeah.
of where I'm coming at on this type of ranking and this time around.
I see you.
is
Even
the
kind of
quality
shooting
of movie.
rough figures here. Like I see you on Wakanda Forever. To be honest, I see you on 28 Weeks Later.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right?
you're
Like
fucking wild.
okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Keep in mind, this is weeks, brother, not days or years.
Yeah.
It is weeks. You know what I mean? But okay, I hear. I guess Nathaniel's like, yeah, you got me fucked up on that one. So, all right, man. Shout out to Imogen Poots.
Shout out. She was just in a movie with our a boy from Ted Lasso. There's another one
I
that
didn't see
she
that.
had. I think it's like on Apple Plus or something like that.
Okay, I may have to check that out. Let me look at this right now.
While we're doing that, Tyler, where are you ranking?
58.
58.
58 that goes below Spirited
Where's
Away and
that?
above it follows. Pretty solid.
Oof.
You're having this in the same conversation as Spirited Away.
That's A
Yeah,
tier.
I mean, you know, for one, you guys always know that nostalgia plays pretty heavily into my decision making. But coming from a fundamental film standpoint, this is still very highly valued in my opinion. You know, I know there's quite a few differences between this and the novel, and you know, we talked about a couple of different things, but when you look at like if somebody had never read that, I think this is still such a well put together movie from start to finish with all the little tidbits in between. That still make this an incredible movie when you really look at it. So I'm gonna go, you know, right by some of my other favorites in there. And yeah, I think 58 is really where it sits pretty comfortably for me.
Fair enough.
Okay. Yeah. So we're Ty's A list.
A tier. Well, I mean, he is
A tier. Pardon me. Yeah.
But
A tier.
We're all
Pardon me.
A-list.
And then the rest of us are throughout B tier, which is I think our widest ranked tier. So just kind of interesting.
All of
to put
that
out there
together lands us.
Where does that put us?
At 109.25, meaning we'll put it right below Weathering with You and right above Paid in Full at 110, which feels like a good spot.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, yeah, kind of sick. It's right below Wakanda Forever, though. I'm not gonna lie to you, fellas. Just when you start comparing them side by side, right? Like that's rough.
I
but
know.
outside of that,
the list has some flaws. All right,
Yeah.
It's not a perfect system here. That's why we incorporated the tiers. All right,
Absolutely.
But
yeah, overall not bad. Paid in Full, Weathering with You, District 9. right?
Yeah.
Very good movie we all like. The Long Walk, one I think we all gave some pretty solid praise to.
Love that.
Yeah.
So, okay, yeah.
Cool. Well, that's it for our review here of Watchmen. Our review next week will be a review of the new movie, One Battle After Another. The new Paul Thomas Anderson meets Leonardo DiCaprio. It's all coming together. So go ahead.
Does it break? Does it break A tier, fellas?
We'll have to find out. It's getting that kind of buzz.
It's got potential. Yeah.
I'm trying to keep my expectations low so that
hear you.
I can be entertained.
I hear you.
Because you know what, nowadays everybody's hyping every single movie up. That's any movie that's above like a 7.5. People have been saying it's the greatest thing ever made.
Sure.
So as Nathaniel often says, there is no nuance on the internet, and everything's either incredible or awful, and not a lot in between.
It's true.
So trying to keep my expectations low, and hopefully I am pleasantly surprised. But yeah, join us or check that out. It's new in theaters, and then join us next week for our review of that. Do we want to do Caught Stealing really quick, gentlemen? Get that out of the way.
Yeah, that's fine. So we're giving our rankings.
Yeah, let's do that because I don't think we definitely don't have it on here. What episode was that? Would have been episode 250. That's right. Man,
I wish I knew where I put it on the tier list so I can have a basis.
I don't remember what you said.
Yeah, let me see if I can find it.
But I don't think I'm putting this movie all that high, fellas. So, this is a movie, by the way. I think the brief part of the review that I listened to when you guys were talking about what I thought of it, because I forgot to send in a review that night. I gave it a 3.5 on Letterboxd. If I had to re-rate it now, I'd probably give it a 3. I would not recommend this movie, at least not to see it in theaters. I didn't enjoy it all that much. And thought it had some interesting choices in the story that I was kind of confused by. And also, I don't know if I really was rooting for the main character once it was kind of revealed what happened.
Yeah, I think that was pretty much my
life.
kind of like main takeaway from it as well too. Was just like, I don't care about this guy, and I kind of only wish bad things happen to him.
Right,
So,
I don't have any sympathy for him.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna put it below Men, above Ghostbusters Afterlife, 195. Don't give a fuck about
I
that
just
movie.
real quick, fellas, I just went back to listen to kind of our brief rankings between me, Nathaniel, and Ty on the tier list, and we all did C tier. So catch me up on where your actual ranking was just now, Nathaniel.
I said below Men, which I think is D tier.
Okay. right on the cusp, though. It's the top of D tier, though.
Sure.
So you're still got the right basis. Did anyone else rank by chance? Sorry, I was listening to the old app.
No,
Okay.
I'm trying to find that out right now.
Yeah, I think I'm still sticking with my gut of C tier. Blind Spotting, Ballerina. I would put it over Ballerina. The Blackening. I actually really like that movie.
Yeah, that's one that's aged better in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
I really like The Blackening, dude.
Yeah,
it's really funny. I saw it twice when it was in theaters. I was laughing both times.
For sure. Last Voyage of Demeter, Final Destination 3. Yeah, VHS, valid, Tenet. Can't go above that. I know where I'm going. It's gonna hurt me to do it, but I gotta do it just because I do not like that movie at all, and it's going above The Last Voyage of the Demeter. So I'm going to 189. And I love Dave Delsmashian. Shout out our boy. He's been on the podcast fucking 9-10 movies.
Sure.
He's awesome. I want him on here more. But I do not like that movie at all. I have no desire to ever rewatch it.
All right.
I was actually okay with putting The Voyage of the Demeter above this. So
oh, really?
Yeah, so you said Ballerina, and I was like right there.
Yeah.
So I think I am going to be right at that 190 mark.
Okay.
Below The Blackening, above Ballerina. Excuse me.
I am lower than all of you, probably. I think I'll end up putting this at 203, below Napoleon Dynamite, and above Matrix Resurrections.
Wow, I'd say you've soured on it even more then.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? I will admit that if I had ranked this immediately or a couple days following like a regular cadence of like I see the movie and have a couple days, might have been a little bit higher than I am because I definitely have soured on the movie, but not by that much. Like I was never really walking out of that movie feeling all that great about it. There's like good bits of it, certain pieces of the movie where I was like, this is enjoyable, and I don't think it's necessarily a super bad movie, but like it's just not all that great overall. So that gives us an average ranking of 194.25, meaning we put it below Fantastic Four, First Steps, and above Men.
Oh wow, okay. Cool. Is that exactly where Nathaniel put it?
I had a one lower. Yeah, I went below.
You went below Men. Okay. Well, there it is. D+ tier, fellas.
Cool. We got it locked in.
Did I ever tell you guys that I thought Caught Stealing was the movie we're about to record of One Battle After Another?
Oh no!
like when I sat down for Caught Stealing, I thought that's the movie I was going to watch, and then like Austin Butler came on screen, and I was like, oh, I don't know what this is. Yeah.
Oh no, that's super disappointing. What a switch up.
No.
All right. Well, we're pretty long on time. Do you want to talk about Peacemaker quick, Nathaniel, or do you want to save it for next week?
It's real good. Would recommend. It's very funny as well too. If you haven't seen the first season, you kind of do need to watch that as well too. But
yeah, I assume.
If you like the Superman though, or the recent Superman movie as well as Suicide Squad, definitely worth checking out. It's nice to have a funny show week to week. Bigger thing is, Blake, have you seen the movie Possession?
That sounds so generic. Let me see. Is it like 2015?
No, this is like 1980.
Then no, I do. I do not know what that is.
So it's got our guy Sam.
I have not seen it. I'm aware of what it is.
Sure, it's got our guy Sam Neill from Jurassic Park or Event Horizon, as you would probably know him better from, as well as the French actress Isabelle Adjani. But it's set in West Berlin, like while the Berlin Wall's up, and like he's a spy. She is his wife, but she wants a divorce, and she won't really tell him why, and then it just devolves into like the most like insane, paranoid, crazy movie I've come across in a while, where like just everything that happens is just more like not insane in the way of like, well, this just breaks the universe kind of thing, but it's just like this like, what is going on? How is every character that gets introduced like just making the situation worse? They're very clearly like trying to break up, and then like there's other things going on in the background, and at some point you're just like, there just must be something supernatural going on. Like the camera work is so like oppressive, like everything about it just makes you feel like you're going crazy watching it as well too. It was a really good movie. I feel like it's definitely one for the horror fans. Like I don't think the mainstream is going to be like super into it, but I also feel like it's such a unique experience to watch. I thought it was really, really interesting and really good. So a fun way to kick off Halloween. Apparently it was not released in the United States and in like its uncut form for like a few years as well too. So if you can, make sure you see the European version.
Okay, for sure. What'd you catch that on?
I bought it, so I had it on. I got a physical copy. It was one of my last things that I got before I left Best Buy. As well too. But yeah,
valid.
It's out there.
Yeah, man. I will absolutely add it to the list. I've tried to get to as much horror as I can this month, right? So
it's true.
I kicked off yesterday with something, so that's kind of my sneak peek. But yeah, I will go out my way to add Possession right to the list, and I will get to it this month, brother. We'll be able to talk about it
for sure.
That came out this year, right?
No, Possession's 1981.
Oh, what am I thinking of?
Horror movie.
Came out in like March or May. It's maybe something with the C in the title. It doesn't matter.
Well, there's like the 18th Conjuring universe film, unfortunately.
Well, no, it was
Companion.
I think it was like Companion.
Companion's one.
That's what I'm thinking.
No, he's talking about the one that was from the point of view of the entity or whatever. It was like Presence or something like that.
Yeah,
it was the Steven Soderbergh one, wasn't it?
I think so. It doesn't matter.
Might be.
Doesn't matter.
That sounds right though, because somebody Presence is 2024. So yeah, you're onto something.
All right, we need to move past this conversation.
Sure.
Do we have any other closing thoughts? We're just running pretty long on time.
Yeah. I'll throw one thing out there real quick. So we kicked off Horror October, of course. So I actually went back with another recommendation by my boy Nathaniel. It's one I've been meaning to get to for several years. Always push off. Nathaniel just got to it recently. He said he really enjoyed it for his first viewing, and I watched The Others.
Oh, sure.
Which I believe is a 2001 film. Nicole Kidman, a few other people in that as well. Very kind of small cast at that point in time. And thoroughly enjoyed it. First time watching it. Went in as blind as possible, but it's such a mega hit in kind of the niche horror world where I ultimately know the entire film.
Sure.
Right? I know the twist. So but still really, really cool to see play out in something that's awesome. That's an awesome take on a no pun intended, a ghost possession film. Right? It's an awesome take on that.
She's so good in it as well too. She's doing some great.
The kids are fucking awesome too. Man.
Kids are great. Yeah, it's just truly like one of those, they don't make them like those anymore, where there's not that much that's like jump scare kind of thing, but there is so much that you're just like,
not at all.
Oh, well, that's weird and creepy, and like I don't like that kind of thing.
Yeah, a lot of strange shots, camera angles, dialogue.
The door jump scare is like genuinely one of the best ones I've seen in a while.
That did get me. Yeah, it did.
Yeah. I'm glad you saw it finally. I think it's I don't know. I enjoyed it overall. I thought it was a solid 3.5. Yeah.
I agree. It was worth the watch, even knowing how much I knew about it and catching it 25 years later. Definitely worth the watch. And one that's kind of palatable. Pretty light on the horror aspect of it. I believe it's actually rated PG-13. So you can put it on with pretty much anybody, right?
You could definitely show it. Yeah, as someone's first horror movie, they could definitely handle it for sure, I think.
Absolutely. That's all I got.
Cool. Let's move on out of here then. Thank you all for listening, especially if you made it this far into the episode. You're our favorite type of listener, and we really, truly do appreciate it. If you want to do us a favor, share the podcast. Share with a friend, family member, maybe a fellow superhero, while you're doing that, follow us on Twitter, Banter Row. Our YouTube is Back Row Banter. Our email, if you want to send us one of those, is backrowbanterpod@gmail.com. You can find me on Letterboxd at Aish and on Twitter at Aish24. That's AYYSH. BlakeHolder, where can the people find you at, my man?
Letterboxd, BlakeHolder, be on there, logging some things, rate them out of 5 stars. I try to be up to date on that, so yeah, please go ahead and pay attention to October. You'll be able to kind of catch up and see what I'm watching. I'm trying to get into a few each week. That's all I got. Let's go, Nathaniel.
Yeah, similarly, I will be trying to get to some horror movies that I've been missing so far in October, and got a little list going here. If I'm not going to be watching movies, I'm going to be hopefully reading books as well too. So it's going to be, it's the favorite time of year for me. Really excited about that. So kick it on over to Tyler. Again, happy birthday, bud. Close us on out of here.
Did you go, or am I truly closing this out?
You're closing.
Yep, it's all you.
Cool. You can find me on Instagram, Letterboxd, and X. Tyler Dallas, VID, ALES. We appreciate you stopping by, and we'll also appreciate it if you stop by next week. And we'll see you then. Be good to each other, and we'll BRB.
I'm American. Ready for another lesson.
Anyway, sorry. That's been baseball talk. It's football season though, so how's everyone checking in this week? Did I see that the Packers had a draw?
They did. They did. I don't know if Ty's here right now.
Wait, I didn't see
But-
that. How does that happen?
They did. They
Yeah,
played the
they tied.
Cowboys. There he is. Yep.
I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah, there's only a certain amount of
um,
time in overtime. It's like there's no
Yeah,
second overtime.
I was gonna say it used to be like almost unlimited overtime until somebody wins, and then things changed to where
I
you
guess.
couldn't win by just a field goal. You had to win by a touchdown if it's in the first possession, and then if it's after both teams have possessed the ball, then you can win by a field goal. And now there's only one overtime, and the score is what it is after that. Doesn't matter.
Is that because of the Thursday night games as well too, and that kind of thing? Because they just don't want it going super late and having late turnarounds and that kind of thing.
Oh, that's a good question. That may play a role, but no one is going to play on Monday night and then play Thursday.
Right. I
Right.
guess
That's
a
like
good
a
point.
baked-in rule into the schedule.
Got it.
So yeah, just not not great, but also not like the worst possible outcome. I think there were a lot of bad calls in that game for both sides, which I think determined quite a
Typical
bit of,
Packers fan making excuses.
which is why I said on both sides, but that's okay.
He did say that. I can attest.
But yeah, no, it's just one of those things where you kind of beat yourself and let things go and just kind of turns to shit. I will say both quarterbacks had, pretty good numbers for what the outcome was. And that is the second highest scoring game in NFL history to end in a tie.
Whoa.
But yeah, it is what it is.
How does
I
that-
guess I'd rather say I'd come out with a tie than a loss, but obviously we
Yeah,
should have won
right,
that
right.
game. So
How does that stack up in terms of like games back in the season? Is that like a half game, like in the end, if you go like 10-1-1?
I believe
know.
so. But yeah, I know ultimately, like, yeah, you would still if you finished if the Packers finished 10-6-1, they would ultimately be behind the team that's 11 and 6.
It's how many wins
Right.
you have, I guess.
11-7. Yeah, right. So yeah, I mean, it is one. It doesn't kill them, but yeah, that could come back to like bite you in the ass.
But
when it
then
comes to,
again,
like, playoff seeding.
If
you
they're
know?
10-6-1 and another team's 10-7, I assume they're by the same
Correct.
token,
Yeah, they would have the
oh,
advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would have the advantage. So yeah, it was a hell of a game though, from like a neutral perspective, just to watch.
Yeah.
It. Very, very entertaining. A lot of points down to the wire. Right. So good football game. But yeah, definitely one that's like gotta objectively suck for the Packers. That's the Cowboys are probably a pretty bad team. It's early, so like you don't really know. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's one they'd probably like to win that, right? So
yeah, I mean, looking at last year, they were obviously a pretty decent team. We just came into Dallas and walked them in the playoffs, but
Yeah.
they obviously got there for a reason. So it's not terrible. It does suck when, like their number one star receiver and probably arguably the best receiver in the NFL, if not one of the best, is
Isn't
out.
playing.
So you never know what that outcome looks like. But we also have a lot of injuries too on our side of the ball.
Yeah.
We don't have Christian Watson. We also don't have Jaden Reed. Those are arguably, 1 and 2 or 2 and 3 receivers for us. And
yeah, definitely.
so yeah, man, it's tough, and we're having a tough time right now trying to get our offensive line together. But our defense is firing on all cylinders, and I think Parsons definitely saved a run in touchdown from Dak at one point towards the end of the game, which could have changed everything. But
yeah.
There are so many more blocked field goals in the NFL in this like first 4 games of the season than I've seen in any other season combined in the
It's actually
NFL.
kinda
And
nuts.
I don't understand where it's coming from. I don't understand if it's like
So
a flaw in the system. I don't think it's anything that's changed as far as how many people are on the line. Like I don't
Yeah.
understand where it's coming from.
Are they using
So I heard a
torpedo
theory.
bats?
they are using torpedo. Well, that was one theory. No, but I heard a theory that and I think this stems from some NFL coaches and some special team coaches, that with the dynamic kickoff, which we're in year 2 of it, but is still relatively new to teams. There has been, and it's still like evolving in terms of your strategy and how you're kicking the ball off and where you're kicking it and all that stuff. That so much time is spent in practice on special teams focused on the new kickoff, that there's less time spent on fundamental special team stuff like the field goal kicking, like the other I guess I don't know what other special teams
I could see that though.
you know what I mean?
could see that. Yeah, punting, punt return, all types
that
of
kind of
things.
stuff.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I agree.
So like they're
can see
not
that.
spending as much time practicing that stuff because they're all focused on the new dynamic kickoff.
Well, it's
that-
dumb as fuck, and they need to fix it
Well-
because the dynamic kickoff isn't gonna fucking score you points or lose you points.
I mean, some would
some
argue
teams make it
that
work.
the Bears damn near lost the first game to that, like with him not being able to kick it out the back of the end zone, then like granting them the extra 10 yards. So it is strange. I agree. I don't know if they'll have it for the foreseeable future, right? I'd have to imagine they're going to add some more tweaks to that eventually, but yeah, I don't know, brother.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see, man. But on the flip side, the Bears did win. Nathaniel, we did get a Bears
curious.
win
Yeah.
this weekend. Yeah, Bears won. Beat the Las Vegas Raiders.
Okay,
Not
a
the
team-
greatest team.
team we should
Right,
beat,
no.
right?
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
being the Bears, like, I don't know. You know, it's like it's a team you should beat if you want the Bears to be good, right? But like
True.
knowing the Bears and kind of where they've come from, like, I don't think those are gimmies. Like just playing other bad teams, right? Like we're not the Packers, where it's like you're lining up to play a bad team. It's like, yeah, we should
It's true.
kind of handle this, you know? So, yeah, they end up winning and kind of had some grit to it. They had to come back. They were down most of the game. So it's some positive things to see. A lot of stuff you don't see being a Chicago Bears fan, right? Of watching them come back and fight back and win off field goals and stuff. It's usually the opposite way.
Well, I was also just checking in on my Montana Grizz, and it seems they.
I did watch some of that game on Saturday night, brother. I was gonna shoot you a text, but they had a late game. They
did,
kicked
yeah.
off at like maybe 9:30.
It was
something.
indeed, yeah.
Yeah.
But they were playing the Idaho Vandals, so Big Sky
Yep.
Conference Patriot there as well too.
Yep.
And they ended up getting the win as well too. So
What was the final score of that? I cut it off at halftime. They were winning pretty handily.
yeah, it
when
was
at the time I
it was
cut
like
off.
40 to 30 at least. It was like well, let's see here, 41 to 30.
Okay.
So
Oh, so then Idaho must have pulled back a little bit because by the time I turned it off at halftime, it was maybe like 17-3,
Okay.
21-3,
Oh,
something like
yeah.
that. Like it didn't look like Idaho was really had any chance. to
looks
be honest
like
with you.
Idaho scored 16 in the fourth quarter, which was
Sure, there it
garbage
is.
time.
Yeah.
It looks like at that
Yeah.
point already.
Yeah.
So so Montana moves to first in the Big Sky Conference. So we'll see where that goes overall. But they got a second year redshirt sophomore quarterback who's like the son of a former quarterback there. So maybe someone they
okay.
can build around. It seems, but
Yeah. They looked good, man. From the first half I watched them play. They looked solid.
we'll see
solid.
how
Good
it goes.
defense.
Yeah, that's what you
Yeah.
want to see from them. Obviously, I guess they basically completely overhauled that defense as well too, which I think I called a weird one the other day, but it's a strange setup that they have, that they run out of. I'm struggling for the right verbiage for like the term
Sure.
their strange defense. What is it?
I think I remember you bringing something like that up. On
Yeah.
a previous pod. But yeah, nonetheless, they looked good, man. Overall, a pretty good week of football. So we'll see. Who did the Packers play this week, Ty? Do you know, or do they have a bye?
I believe we're on a bye.
I think the Bears are on a bye too, if I'm not mistaken.
I think
Bears
they
are on
are
a bye.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see, man.
Mizzou's on a bye too, so I got nothing to watch.
Oh yeah, they won last week, as expected.
Yeah,
though they played who they
they're-
played doormat, some shit like that.
UMass.
Yeah, I remember
they
us
played
talking about
UMass.
that. Yeah,
They're only 6 points UMass scored was a touchdown after we turned the ball over on our own like 25-yard line.
Sure, some bullshit.
And I think they must have missed the field goal. I didn't, or the extra point, because I didn't see it, but I'm almost positive they scored a touchdown and then it was 6 points. Like, like that's how bad that team is.
They run the 3-3-5.
Yeah, that was an easy win. Yeah.
Oh, on defense? Yeah. That's like
a 3-3-5.
You don't see that a lot in modern iterations of football.
Yeah,
so.
well, there's reasons for it, I'm sure. But if you haven't been watching the Missouri Tigers, Blake, they have an early Heisman candidate at running back, Ahmad Hardy, who has just been tearing it up.
Let's see. You said they have a bye this week, right?
They do have a bye.
Yeah,
and then they play Alabama at home, which will probably get rolled because Alabama's passing game is very solid and our secondary is poorest.
That is next week.
Lightly, our secondary is horrible.
Difficult to
so we're probably going to get demolished.
To win a Heisman as a running back, right?
A little bit.
Yeah, I'm trying to think
just ask Ashton Genty.
Yeah, I don't know the last guy who's won it. Realistically, you probably got to go back close to 10 years, Nathaniel. So yeah, I would say in theory, yes. I think it's easiest to win as a quarterback because it's the most valuable position right on the field. Yeah, I don't know the last Heisman winning.
But that being said, Ahmad Hardy, dude, definitely probably the best college running back I've watched play. And arguably one of the best running backs, period, that I've seen. Like I don't expect, like, I watch him play and I don't expect him to get tackled or go down in big piles of people. Like, I'm watching him run the ball, and at this point, after 5 weeks, my expectation is that he does not go down at the first sign of contact.
Yeah,
which I am surprised excellent. When he does. Yeah, dude, it's insane. He has more he has more yards after contact than like a lot of the SEC running backs have.
Total yards.
Period. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like I've never seen someone just run through and stay up as much as he does. And our backup running back, or I shouldn't even say backup, our second string running back, Jamal Roberts, is also very good and is also top 10 in yards right now in the SEC.
All right, man. Yeah, I'm gonna
game.
Give it a shot. I'm gonna tune in to
some of his highlights, dude.
The Alabama Mizzou game next week, man.
Should. But you should look up if you're bored one day or want something to watch on YouTube. Just Google some Ahmad Hardy highlights because they're
for sure.
Crazy.
For sure. We'll do it. So that's sports talk, right? Right now we're rooting on the Cubs tomorrow. It's do or die, right? Tomorrow for the Cubs.
Do or die. Win or go home.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hopefully we do something, man.
So, yeah.
Are the Diamondbacks in the playoffs?
No.
Shout out Nathaniel.
No,
they actually made a sneaky late run at the wild.
Just
card.
fell short, huh?
Yeah. They were playing the Padres, I think, in that last series or something.
I think they were.
Yeah. Freaking Padres.
Yeah. A lot of things would have had to go their way to make it.
Sure.
But they made a sneaky last push.